Mine is a very short and straight assignment, which is to appreciate you and to encourage you. If you look at the number of students who sat for the 2025 EEC, and you consider the fact that those of you here today, 52, have been selected based on your competence and your performance, it gives us reason to be joyful. And so, when you look at the breakdown, it is even more exciting because we have 32 students from all the 16 regions, male and female, and we have 16 of you from private schools, also male and female. Then we have 2 visually impaired students, whom I just acquainted myself with. And then we also have 2 hearing impaired students who are among the 52 of you deserving of the awards, which will be presented to you 2 days from today at a much bigger ceremony, likely with His Excellency the President himself. So give yourselves a round of applause. You know, when I was your age, I didn't even have the privilege of coming to Accra. I came to Accra after I had written my A-levels, and that was in 1991. So that year, I made it to Accra, and for the first time, I saw the sea. And if at your age, you are privileged not only to come to Accra, but to be chosen as award winners, and you are going to have the unique opportunity to interact with the first gentleman of the land, then it means that you have no excuse. It means that the challenges that I went through, you shouldn't go through those challenges. And I think that is why the Minister for Education and His Excellency the President are working very hard to ensure that we improve teaching and learning, particularly at the basic level. As you know, there are inequalities depending on where you are. So we have schools that are less endowed. We have schools that are also in the rural parts of this country. And we have schools where, when we even post teachers, they are not willing to go because the schools are so remote. And those environments are not attractive. But government is very determined to address. We improve teaching and learning, particularly at the basic level. As you know, there are inequalities depending on where you are. So we have schools that are less endowed. We have schools that are also in the rural parts of this country. And we have schools where, when we even post teachers, they are not willing to go because the schools are so remote. And those environments are not attractive. But government is very determined to address some of these challenges. So you may have heard the President and the Minister speak about the Teacher Dabre program. And the President mentioned this during the State of the Nation's address on Friday. That is to help provide accommodation so that teachers would find it a lot more easier to take up postings in rural communities. But the President doesn't just leave it there. He also has a program that is going to reward teachers who take up teaching positions in the rural areas slightly more than their colleagues who do not. And that is a policy that is going to allow teachers who take up postings in rural communities and underserved communities 20% on top of their gross salary as part of the motivation. So the thinking is that if we can combine the provision of accommodation and some additional remuneration, it will make it easier for teachers to take up appointments in rural underserved communities. So that students in Bumkurugu, students in Fumbisi, students in Dorninga or Bachomsa can also have the opportunity to excel as you have, so that someday they can also come to Accra. Equally important is our policy of supplying free sanitary pads, particularly to our girls in upper primary all the way to senior high school. And this is very important. I believe a lot of people do not get the import and the life-changing significance of this policy. I would argue that perhaps this is one of the most enduring policies among many that John Dramani Mahama is implementing, ably supported by the Minister for Education. I am a rural MP, and I know this firsthand, that because of the lack of healthy sanitary hygiene, a lot of young girls stay home when that time of the month comes, where their system has to do what we all know is natural. It is not their fault. It is the way it is. My mother went through it. My daughters are going through it. My granddaughters will go through it. This is a natural phenomenon. But because of the challenges to do with the lack of ability by many parents to procure sanitary pads for their girl children, a lot of the time, when that time comes, the girls have to stay home the entire duration, so they lose school time. Others would have to use products that are not hygienic, which may even lead to infections. Others also try to use what they can get. And sometimes when they even brave it to go to school, with those unhygienic products, there are accidents. And then it becomes a sort of embarrassment. And it reduces the confidence of the girl child. So this policy is to ensure that every Ghanaian girl in school from upper primary all the way to senior high school has a regular and adequate supply of sanitary pads, so that what we call the period poverty will be removed. This would enhance the confidence of the girl child, it will make them more regular in school, and it would enhance their outcomes in terms of their academic career. And last year, we distributed over 12 million sanitary pads. This year, we are set to do the same. The budget has made provision for 292 million Ghana cedis for this particular exercise. And there's a lot more that government is doing through the Ministry of Education and with the effort of our minister to ensure that every Ghanaian child gets an equal opportunity to gain the best education that the state can provide. And let me conclude with the issue of schools under trees. As we speak, there are many parts of the country where we have sufficient populations for schools to start. And because as a state we are not keeping pace with population growth, the communities themselves come together and then start a school. And that is how schools under trees come to be. We inherited in excess of 5,000 of such schools under trees. And we are making a concerted effort to address this phenomenon. In this budget that we passed last year for 2026, in this State of the Nation's address, the President has reinforced his commitment to addressing this phenomenon. So you would have heard that we are going to be constructing 200 junior high schools, 200 kindergartens, and another 200 primary school blocks, among others, to try and address this phenomena of schools under trees. So let me encourage you that what you have achieved should be the beginning. Don't let it be the end. Let me see you again after you have written your wasi. That would tell me that you didn't rest on your oars. you took advantage of this opportunity to build up, because Ghana is looking up to you. We are buying time. I mean, most of us are over 50 years old. Yours is the present and the future, and we are looking up to you. And don't let anyone tell you that you are not capable. You are as good as any person your age and at your level in any part of the world. As we know, colleagues of yours, senior colleagues, have won awards in robotics and automation. And you can do the same. So we are counting on you to be the generation that would help us achieve what we've been dreaming for. So please be motivated, focus on your studies, stay away from bad company and bad behavior. We are not happy with the hooliganism, the lawlessness, and indeed the misconduct that we are recording in some secondary schools. Not all, very few. But as the saying goes, one bad nut can soil the taste of the rest of the nuts in your mouth. So please stay away from such behavior. Conduct yourselves properly and focus on your studies. And let your colleagues know that those who would refuse to conduct themselves properly, those who would misbehave, those who will be lawless, those who would engage in acts of criminality will be dealt with. And I'm sure you've heard that some of your seniors in some of those schools where we had reports about misconduct and lawlessness, the Director General is here, the Chief Director is here, Minister has given us the marching orders, President has given us his blessing that they must be disciplined in our secondary school. So if you misconduct yourself, you will be arrested, you will be prosecuted, and you may go to jail and also lose the opportunity to realize your dream through schoolwork. So let this be a caution through you to all students. But I know that you are here because you have good behavior. So help be agents of change. Let your colleagues who are not here understand that it pays to conduct yourselves lawfully, properly, and to respect the regulations as expected of you as students. And those who do not, they will face the consequences. So be our ambassadors. We are very proud of you. Some of some of